mind made up. And there's a Fury to the south too. Wow, I guess I was right. That one is back. So that means that this is certainly respawned. At least I'd be hard pressed to think otherwise. And that was nice. I was able to take the imp out as well as deal damage to the Infernalist, so that's cool. And I'm going to try to take him out with avalanches, and I do just that, but I got to back up a little bit or else I don't want to lure too much on him, you know, just for supplies' sake. And I was going to shoot off a little helpful icicle, but he finished it before that even got out, so that's totally fine by me, as long as we get the job done, you know. And finishing up the Hellfire Fighter, we get a Fire Sword. And I imagine, yep, the Fury is back. So now all the Furies that we were just doing are probably back, along with some of their counterparts, so that's good. And we decide to go down as well, it looks like, which is fine with me. And I'm going to focus on the Hellfire Fighter again while he focuses on the Fury. And I didn't mean to lure that Fury so far away from him, but... And we finish that Hellfire Fighter off. And we get a Magma Coat. So that's decent. And this floor, I'd say for the amount of Hellfires, it's probably worth coming down here if it's not a madhouse at first. Just because of the amount of Furies. And I'm still getting pretty decent experience, I can tell you that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's at least decent. And we're going to finish the Infernalist off, I think. At least I am. And I do just that, but unfortunately I lure the Hellfire. And just missed that, but that's alright. He's got the Hellfire moving around, so it's not really going to do anything critical as far as damage to him. And we're going to pulverize this Infernalist, and we get a Black Skull, which is actually a pretty rare item that only Infernalists and Hellspawns drop, so that's definitely an alright drop. I've gotten a couple of them from Infernalists. What you really want from an Infernalist is a red piece of cloth, which they have a 1% rate on, similar to Warlocks with a 1% rate on blue robes. And you want the Magic Sulfurs, which they also have a decent rate on. And between my waves and his attacks, we just run right through them and take them down like cake. I actually love being on a Sorcerer Pally team because we both run things, so it really, you know, and not to mention he's got a ton of health, better shielding, so you know he's equipped to be a decent blocker, plus he can heal for a decent amount. The only thing he can't do that a knight has him beat on as far as blocking is being able to res, which is challenge. And we have a Hellfire now, so I'm going to use a little Avalanche just to get some damage in on him, and as well as the Infernalist. So, drop them. I'd be surprised if we didn't get at least one red cloth from an Infernalist. And I think we've only gotten one red pock from the Furies too, which is actually a surprise as well because they have a 5% drop rate on them, which means about every 20 you kill, you should hope to see at least one. And I finish off the Dragonling with a off-screener. And unfortunately, I think I lured another Fury. Nope, it was just an Imp. I was going to say, I didn't think that Fury was back yet. So I finish off the Dragonling. And we get the Imp together. And he sends his up there. I send mine to the south, luckily. And it looks like he's taking off, but we pick him off before he gets the chance to take off. And for those of you who've wondered, I've heard some people say, you know, is your computer bad? Or no, my computer actually handles Tibia without my recording software going perfectly. But unfortunately, when I have the recording software going, that slows things down a little. And honestly, that's only because of the fact that I record with a program that allows me to get very, very high quality. And in order to do that, my computer stresses a little. So I do need a new computer if I would like to go as fast as I do when I'm not recording, which, believe me, I do. But it's not the biggest deal in the world, and it's certainly doable. As you can see, I'm playing fine, and it's not like it's ruining the experience or anything. I'm still having a good time. So we want to kind of watch out for the Hellfire, and luckily we get him, so that's cool, as we can bring him down quite easily. And just gave me a reason to E-Wave and deal some heavy damage to the Fury as well as him, so I'm fine with that. Lots of concentrated demonic bloods, and I'm going to grab the strong mana pot and then run on down. Wow, and I miss with an explosion, which is sad. But the Infernalist is retargeting, so it makes it a little bit tougher to hit him dead on, unfortunately. But still doing some real nice damage and taking him out like nothing. Furies are weak to physical and energy and death, so all the attacks we're using are really nice against them. Very heavy damage, which is cool with me. And he's using Assassin Star, so he's dealing a little bit less damage, well, quite a bit less damage than he would be if he were just using his crossbow and his prismatic bolts, or whatever he uses, crystalline arrows and a nice bow. I think he uses a crossbow. And we get our second black skull. So what's nice about hunting with someone else, even if you can hunt in an area, if there's enough spawn there for both of you, is that you are going to be able to kill more with each other, so your chance of getting those really nice rares and stuff goes up pretty significantly. And we get magma boots, surprisingly. So it looks like, I don't know who Poseidon is, never met him before, so I'm gonna assume he's either a fan or someone who got a name change. And by the way, I love when you guys get on here and message me. I love talking to you guys. And some of the conversations we end up having are really nice, and it's cool when I can actually explain why I do certain things or why certain things aren't on the channel yet, you know, stuff like that. And not through a comment, through a continuous dialogue. It means a little more. And sorry, I paused the recording, but I'm throwing up an energy wall. And apparently that didn't pick it off, but that's alright. And there's a Fury to the south here, so I'm going to grab. And we can see the Hellfire going crazy, wishing it could get to me. Luckily, it looks like the Dragon Lords didn't firebomb where they would have destroyed the energy wall, which is a good thing. So, safe there. And there's a Fury that just spawned to the west, so we're going to grab her. And we get steel boots. So that's nice. I mean, that makes up for some of the red pox not showing up. And this is the last Fury before we turn around. And we're going to try another downstairs, but we got to take care of this little problem first. And I'm going to try to... Oh, that fucking Dragonling. Dragonlings are so annoying. They are one of the biggest nuisances as far as creatures go. Just because, like I said, they run. And that is like our third or fourth fire sword. And we get a strong mana potion, so that's cool. So I think we're going to try this one. And we're just going to see if the hole has cleared up at all as far as the density of creatures last time we came down. And hopefully it has, but we don't know. We'll see. And I make the Infernalist cursed just in case he runs away and goes invisible, which luckily doesn't happen. So he's going to go down in E-Bomb. And we get a Burnt Scroll and a Wand. We get a Wand of Inferno though, so that's nice. And I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to take it out before it got away. So, oof, I didn't know there was this many right here either. God, I wouldn't have done this to him. But I get a very nice energy wave off, which really takes care of the problem for the most part. So, while it was a issue for a second, it's certainly not anymore. So, he's going to go down, and I'm going to probably rock an E-Ring. So he doesn't have E-Bombs, luckily I do. And a Devo Mass Vis. I don't have that spell, yeah. That's just one of those spells. So I'm going to have to put an energy ring on, just to be safe for when we first drop down, because we don't know how many are going to be on him. And he puts it down. So I've got my mana shield on. So it looks like, and I'm going to assault this Fury with him. And I don't know if he went up yet, but I am losing mana fast. I'm going to have to go up. Yep, because I'm out of mana. Yeah, that was heavy. I just took some very, very hard hits. And I don't know what he thinks or what he wants to do yet. And he wants to go down alone for a little bit, I guess. No doubt he probably doesn't want me to be in immediate danger, which I appreciate. But I'm going to pop down and see how he's doing. Help him finish some of this stuff off. And I don't know if he went up. So I figured he would go north, so that's why I said I would run north after one Fury left. That's funny. It looks like instinctually I just knew. And yeah, I'm getting hurt, but I'm able to stand my ground, it looks like, which is good. And now we've just got to take care of these two Infernalists, and then I can show you the rest of the entirety of this place. And it's usually not so lored. Like, this is just crazy. So we go to the corner just to make sure that we don't get any more nonsense lured on us. And I'm trying to avalanche the Infernalist that's running. And luckily I pick him off without getting anything else on us. So, fine with me. And my avalanche didn't go off, but then it did, so hey. Wonder what's in all these BPs. Alright, I'll take a couple. So there's backpacks of gold here. And we just carried all of them. I've got 6 backpacks. So I got 3 BPs of gold on me from that. And so does he. So not bad. Just got around 6K or something like that. No, 12K. Wow. And I finish off the Infernalist. I wanted to start focusing on the Hellfire Fighter, but and here comes our Fury. And I think this might be the one with the Hellhound. Actually, there is one floor that it looks like we couldn't do, which is the north one, which when him and I just went down, it was absolutely crazy. So that does not surprise me. And I'm going to let off another great energy beam and some explosions and another energy beam, and then energy wave, then energy beam, I should say, to be correct. And yeah, so I don't need this anymore. Ooh, so he got quite a bit on him there. And I am going to do what I can as far as damage-wise to it. And it looks like there's an Infernalist up there. Well, actually two of them, so while there's a Hellfire, I might as well Avalanche and hope to do some damage to them. Can't hurt. And that was a very nice explosion, just did some pretty quality damage. So I'm going to focus on the Hellfire now. Actually, I'm going to focus on the Infernalist just to get rid of it, since we did a lot of damage to them. Already used a lot of supplies on them. It looks like one's back. And it is, but not for long. And yep, this is where the Hellhound is. So we got a Hellhound on inbound here shortly, and there it is. And Hellhounds do have some pretty vicious waves, but they really aren't that much of a threat overall. And we get Hellhound Slobber, 7 Assassin Stars, 5 Platinum Coins. They really have quite a long loot list. I'll give them that. Then they usually always do, because basically no one wanted to hunt them, and no one really does anymore. The only spot you can even hunt them conceivably, where you would get your task done quick enough, would be the throne room. So I solo Hellhounds with no mana shield because I have enough health to actually take their hits. And so long as I stay out of their wave, I'm totally comfortable. I feel really safe. And there's just spike swords all over the ground, so I'm going to pick these up. There's actually no reason not to. They're 1k each, so if I drop some pots and pick up some spike swords, I will have some extra gold. And might as well, right? So 6 spike swords, which is certainly nice. And the Hellfire Fighter goes for me at first, but does a quick reversal onto Chris. Yeah, another reason I want a new computer is so that I can do Skype usually while I'm hunting, but that's about the extent of it that I feel safe with doing. So yeah, here's the entirety of this floor, which before I think I was showing it and then it got cut off, if I'm not mistaken. Not totally sure if I'm remembering this correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And we get a skull staff, a small enchanted ruby. So we've gotten several skull staffs. Loot is going pretty good this hunt. And we've got an hour and a half, I think, until this closes. Actually, a little bit longer. So we finish the Infernalist off and we go back to the Fury. And it looks like, I don't know if another Fury just spawned over to the west, but nope. And he says, beasts. Hell yeah, we are. And ow, I need to go down. Back up, and time to really help him out here. I'm going to need to use Rage here to deal as much extra damage as I can to everything. And it looks like the Hellfire went on me. But that's alright, I'm safe. I'm using Vita constantly, so. And unfortunately, it looks like my ring has expired. And I can't rage again, which is what I was trying to do, unfortunately. I think I'm out of Ring of Healings, which sucks, but what can you do? Can't really do too much about that. And we get another Fury. And I'm seeing if he wants to check the north out. And we're gonna let energy wave off, do some nice damage. And unfortunately my beam misses, but that's alright. And we finish her off. And the Dragon Lord goes down, so onto the Imp. And I'm going to grab his Guardian Shield. Sure, why not? And I tried to off-screen him, but it doesn't look like I had much luck. Now I'm staying on the massive Fire Elemental, as is he. We're just trying to pick that off because they're basically miniature Hellfire fighters. They have ridiculous beams, but otherwise they're pretty powerless. And wow, we get another Skull Staff, so that's cool. They're definitely being decent on their Skull Staff drops, that's for sure. And that's our third Guardian Shield. So that's actually not too great considering they've got about a 10% rate on Guardian Shields, and considering how many we've killed. And we head up north. And of course we've got a Dragonling, so naturally they're going to want to run as they do. But we box them in. Don't let them get a chance to do that. And I'm going to try to avoid using my energy wave and stuff for a little bit, just because I am really low on mana and I need to get some mana back. So it's going to be straight avalanches and SDs, icicles. You know, stuff that doesn't take up a ton of my mana. So he's going to give it a little survey. Try to E-bomb. And 62%. We'll see what he thinks. 2 firefighters and many fury. Three. That's too risky. I don't know about that. So that's going to be a little bit dangerous. I don't know if he wants to mess around with it. That's up to him. So just really telling him that, you know, if you guys were watching how much mana I lost when I went down the hole with him before, you should know why I'm not too eager to go down the hole again. And I'm going to go ahead and I used a energy wave there just because, you know, it was a good setup and I'm almost at full mana, so might as well, right? Another Wand of Inferno, and it's